teams have been liking the Legion Commander. I've seen some teams struggle with it though, where this Legion just doesn't get dual damage off in the early parts of it. So I like it. We'll see how it goes. Especially, you know, Arrow, Purge with the Legion. See how you do it. And Kid Track, you're with the Bat Rider. So it will be what? That is a 5-position Bat Rider.
5 bat with a position 1 master.
Thank you.
In that lane. I think that's a big thing, right? Like the Bat Rider can kind of spam out with a sticky napalm and you get early levels. Lane break, it can be hard for the Beastmaster to do with that, especially because Desire, usually with the Marana, you want to try and secure the first couple of levels, right? And then that's where the Beastmaster really comes into it. You're getting Dom really early on. There's not a lot of stats. You can stay in the lane with one of the creeps and kind of push out any kind of carry. But with this Bat Rider as well as the Master lane, it's very hard for them to ever leave that lane, because as soon as Desire goes towards the mid lane to try and help out Wish, it's just going to instantly mean that the Kit Track as well a lot of kill threat onto Skylark.
Right.
And that could be a pretty rough lane for them. So I'm really looking towards Monaspa to have... They don't want to have static lanes, but I think they're going to... The kill threat they have across 4 different lanes. Thompson should have a relatively fine time against the Ember Spirit. Seb should have a relatively okay time. They will have a purge to get rid of any of the roots lows that are coming through, but the Ursa is just a nat.
So we'll see how this goes. Would you give me a percentage? Like what if you had to guess and lose some people in chat their points, what would you say?
I want to say 65-35 towards Monaspa. They've just got a more well-rounded draft, but I think maybe I would be leaning a little bit more towards like a 60-40 because Old G. And when I see them have these 3 kind of drafts, I'm always leaning a little bit more towards them because they've got an idea, right? Like they've got Thompson on this hero that he's been spamming a lot of. I think he has like a with Arxia. They've got some ideas around it, but they do have some issues. Whereas Monaspa have much more straightforward draft. They can take Roche, take Gale Wells. That's why, you know.
I don't want to scare you into how many points you're about to be losing people, but there's already 1.6 million points on Old G, while X-Monaspa have 220,000.
Looks like it's time for me to go farm some channel points.
Yeah, the returns are good. Old G, though, finding Skylark. Blood Grenade. I'm a big fan. Double Blood Grenade. And now the jump over from no one, but the arrow hits on the Bat Rider. The Flame Break action. Nether Blast coming through. Skylark turning. Fortune's End onto the Bat Rider on the back lines. They've got Pio there. The first blood for Thompson. Kintrack's going to get traded at the end of the day. And they still want to... Where is this fight happening? In between the tier 1 and tier 2. Like, what is this? This is some SEA region stuff going on right now as Seb starts to retreat. Another Fortune's End means Pio might be able to jump on him, especially with the arrow. The Nether Blast's not going to help, and Seb has to fight back. He's got that 3-man overwhelming odds, but he's still going to die here. They might even get themselves tops, and the Axis come back, and they do get tops in. Pio comes back in. Skylark falls to Aramis. Aramis is going to die here, but the question is who, and it will be Spartan. So 6 kills pre-Horn.
That was something. That was definitely something. I was gonna call out C Spartan a little bit there, misusing his blood grenade waste at the end, but I mean the fact that he went 1-0 to definitely feels pretty good with Oracle. That's great for Monaspa, right? But you can see that Old G understand they want to try and get a lot of these lanes going their way early on because they need to snowball with this draft, right? Like they need to get full damage early on, they need to get a lot of levels onto Kid Track, and they get a lot of levels onto Ramus. Like there's a lot of heroes that need a lot of experience in this fight with fight for them to take, but unfortunately it doesn't work out. I mean, I love it. I love to see it. This is why I love watching Old G. It's just kills everywhere.
Geez, no one going down here, and I gotta assume that was a full duration arrow coming through and hitting onto this Marcy already. I was looking over bottom where it feels like this is gonna be an aggressive lane in itself anyway, and I feel like that's just the Old G style. Keep playing aggressive, even though they die 4 times bottom.
Yeah, I think they need to make sure they don't stop on the aggression train, right? Like even if you lose a couple of fights, like you're not gonna, with this kind of draft, you're not gonna sit back and out side of Monaspa. Like if these lanes go
they don't have
forward for Monaspa, they
the Desire is just dead, and he'll fall to no one who just came back into the lane. Somehow, with all these kills, he's still just sitting level 1.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There's
Yeah,
the level 2.
I'm not sure how he ends up being level 1, especially because they got the kill onto no one in the top lane. I thought maybe Aramis didn't die. Desire didn't die in the opening engagement either. So I thought maybe he was one of the ones that died early on and just didn't get any of the experience from there. Being level 1's a little rough.
Even over mid for the moment. Wish and tops in. This is that 1-2 build and has that bottle, so he'll fill it up with a water rune or get 2/3 of it full. And blood grenade up Kidtrack. He's dead. So another kill here for the side of Monaspa. 9 kills in 2 minutes. If we can keep this pace up, we might have the most kills ever in a Dota game, or at least average.
That's... I mean, I think the record for most kills in a Dota game is a lot. I mean, you gotta remember there was that, what was it, like 4.5 hour game? The OD Pixel special?
Yeah,
there was a lot
but,
of kills in that.
You know, we could get there. At this pace, that was a lot of no killing, you know?
Very true.
4
There probably
hours.
was like an hour where there was not a single fight that happened. I like that Monaspa are doing a really good job at countering the aggression with aggression of their own. Like, they've got a pretty good kill lane with the Beastmaster and the Marana, and they're doing what they should be doing against this position 5 Batrider, right? Like, you don't want to get spammed out. You don't want to lose this lane to a Batrider that wants to scale and wants to get a lot out of the lane. And if they're killing him as well as no one, this just sets up Monaspa into a good spot there. I like it already. 3 health.
Set.
He's about like...
Might die here. Purifying Flames, though, he gets some distance. He'll start to heal up. Aramis with another blast, and I don't think he feels too comfortable going after that Pug now.
They're getting a lot of value out of these 6 out of these bonds early on. Especially there's a big spam lane between both these two teams, and if they can just fight that small little bit and just get that, you know, maybe they get like a moment of courage. Frost for Sev, he just lives a little bit longer than what C Spartan's able to do. Video goes down, and they can snowball this bottom lane a lot. But yeah, it's a bleeding edge for both these two teams, right? Playing constantly with a lot of aggression from Old G until they get a lot of their own levels, break down this laning phase and take over a lot of the map plays, this kind of 4-5-man ball. Whereas Monaspa is just doing a really good job at, you know, coming out even or at least winning a lot of these lanes. See the CS. Theo sitting in 22 CS up against the 18 of Seb, so he's in a good spot and he can fall back for this farming Battle Fury, and as long as they hold their towers and they don't lose the game by, you know, 25-30.
I do think that this is going to be a pretty important wisdom rune on the first 7 minutes, and I know that that's like always the case, but you look at the ults and the 6s that are here for this team, and especially when you want False Promise to be that savior for you, so we'll have to see how Spartan and how the side of Monaspa are going to be able to control it. If they could grab both, I think they kind of run away with the early part of the game, knowing they've got that confidence with False Promise.
Yeah, exactly, and especially if they're able to just rotate to any of these fights. Like, if the first couple of rotations or engagements can Old G get completely stunted by like a False Promise rotation, or maybe even like a arrow from Desire as he TP's in, that can really kind of stunt
Dire's
everything.
middle tower is
You
under
can see that
attack.
they decided to slow down just a little bit. They want to try and get towards that level 5, level 6 tower spike for a lot of their cores. They don't want to over-aggress because they can smell, you know, a few of these lanes aren't going to.
Big flame break, Firefly, and the axes. Purifying Flames, not going to be enough. It is a level 2 Purifying Flames, and that's usually the kill-stealing level. Not get a kill there. And this is even Hero by himself. As long as he doesn't die, though, I think this is fine. We know he's twin game back bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as long as he doesn't die, right? But,
Sire
Thompson
catching
was
tops
low
in.
farming the stacks.
Yeah, gets him, and they're diving. They want to go get healed because they've got Kidtrack coming over. Flame break, overwhelming odds. There's the blood grenade, and they do get killed off Theo. Oracle comes back, but he's just sitting too low, and with the movement from the Twin Gate from Kidtrack, they're able to get a kill. And that arrow full duration connect there.
It's a nifty little ward. I believe that was C Spartan that planted that on his rotation top.
The prize is mine.
In Monaspa, they're playing to their opponent today, right? Like, a lot of teams when they play against Old G, they would have kind of stutter stepped with the early aggression, but it seems like the maps are up.
Ramus has the Decrepit Bite, goes for the Nether Blast, still needs to run, getting some distance from Pio.
Now we
And will get enough distance where he's able to survive while they're chasing Thompson over mid. They go to the slight, they're looking with Desire, and Desire is going to leap up out of the high ground. Thompson's still on the run while now they're chasing Pio the other direction. They've got the Searing Chains, they'll get the catch out of Thompson, they'll get the go to the Dark Sphere, while now, bottom lane, Spartan falls. You've also got some help from Kitrak once again, and Pio's able to survive, but they're losing Thompson a second time.
Yeah, that's a little rough. To be fair, he is a Darkseer, so he can farm really fast. He's got a maxed out Iron Shell now. But this is the all-important moment, right? 7 minutes. Ramus. Okay, looks like he's fast enough to be able to get his own Wisdom Root. All about the Radiant Wisdom. They can steal that.
kind of you.
And that just goes back to parity and goes back to even. Maybe even if Old G are able to do that, then that means that Kitrak gets close to his level 6.
Yeah, that lasso we were talking about, that level 1 is still a relatively long cooldown. You get to the second, third level, it's always kind of nice. Seb, press the attack, turning around, going towards Spartan. Desire's also here. They've got some help coming out from no one who's going to unleash. They'll go after Pio. They've got the damage to get the kill here on the earth, so they look over at Spartan. He can't save himself. He's only level 4. So 2 kills here for the side of OG, and I mean, this power looks dead to rights, especially when you've already got a level 5 Aramis Pugna and level 3 in the Nether Blast.
Yeah, that was a sick rotation. No one understanding that he's hit level 6 first. He's able to go in there with the Unleash and just be able to burst down Pio. Yeah, these level 6s are going to be super important.
So now Thompson caught again. He's going to turn on him. They're going to lead their slight kill. That's a third time.
Seems the lesson.
This Ember's really starting to make his life very upsetting. Bottom lane again, they still got Ramus here.
Try and kill Pio again.
Yeah, they might as well. Seb doesn't have 6. He doesn't have the tool available, and Spartan comes over. Fortune's End still on the run. Not a lot of mana left for Kitrak, but they do have Firefly. If he gets Seb 6 somehow right at this moment, they'd love that. But it's just not going to happen. Nether Blast doesn't land, and he's also got that wand, so he's able to survive. If they just had a level 6, if they just had that tool, they would have gotten that kill.
Yeah, that's a little rough. Maybe Seb would have wanted a little bit of a solid experience in that bottom lane, but
a lot of people coming here to show up. Yeah, comes back, and well, he's here. He can get something in return. There is another ward down. The Decrepify, the Nether Blast. Aramis is pretty much dead on his screen already. He's trying to get the neutrals to kill him instead. But eventually the Slight comes in, and Wish gets his wish granted by getting that kill on Aramis, and Kitrak's getting it run down eventually by Desire. If he's got one more leap, but he actually doesn't, so it's going to take a lot longer to get the kill on a Kitrak. He will TP and be successful with it.
Oh, that was close. An extra half second on that Starstorm, and potentially Desire could have gotten himself a kill there on a Kitrak and prevented this level 6, and now it's level 6 Tranquil Boots for the Outrider, right? So not only has Kitrak been extremely aggressive early on, probably going to be able to make rotation and get some big core kills. They've already killed Popson a lot and killing him again.
Yeah, they're going to look to be killing him with that full duration arrow. I don't think there's any way out of this one, and Wish has another kill.
You have been gold and sweet.
Monaspa, they have themselves the experience advantage. They just don't have Spartan at level 6. I'm surprised he hasn't just gone back and picked up Wisdom Root. That is just still sitting there.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, right? Especially because Desire was on such a track to try and kill Fire one. I thought that might have, naturally ticked over in their mind. Like, yeah, maybe we should go get a road. There was a Give to China game, I believe, where there was 4 Wisdom Runes sitting at one point.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was an interesting game to watch. It was a Medusa, I think, that picked up all 4 of them. I think she ended up giving like her pos 5 like 3.5 levels.
Yeah,
out of
Dire's
it.
middle tower is under attack.
It's so much experience because they move up with each new one, so it's not like they're less experienced. They ferment.
Dire's middle
get the experience back.
fallen.
There it is. There we go.
This is where Old G are gonna start. Level 6s and they want to start killing.
They're looking for the lasso. They still have Wish coming in. Nether Ward's down. Nether Blast drop. Look at that damage on a Kitrak already. Like, he needs to run the life drain. Aramis, he's sitting low too. They definitely put themselves in an interesting spot, but they go to the Unleash. They've got the lasso. They have the control. They get the kill to Wish. He'll take out Kitrak, but in return, that's not really equal exchange.
Yeah, I mean, no one is licking his lips at that one. I thought the arrow was a long-range arrow that hit onto him. Hit onto somebody else. He was able to get the unleash off, and then obviously with the flaming lasso, that was 3-kill there on the Wish. Such a spooky moment there for Old G. I think if Wish was able to clean up both No One as well as Kitrak there, they kind of run away with it. They can take this tier 1 tower down and really start to unlock Skylark, who now has a mechanism up and available. We're going to be doing a Aura build this time around. Standing, there's going to be a lot of fighting. He has a mech early on, which he does. This means a lot of these engagements are going to start leaning the way of Monaspa. That extra. Old G overextend.
Thompson. Zen, arrow coming in. This is the combo every time.
He's having a rough one.
6 deaths already. That's insane.
Yeah.
6 deaths and he's
Like,
still 4
fair,
for the net worth.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, right? Like, to be fair, like, it is a hero that can farm really, really well, and with being Thompson, he's going to be able to naturally accelerate his own farm with the way that he plays, but he just hasn't been able to get off the mark. And if he was, you know, maybe a few levels higher, if he's level 11, he's run around with track, because this is the beauty with the Darkseer, right? It really enables you to do like that, right? If you just surge, you can chuck an Iron Shell, and that enables you to potentially get a free kill on like a Pods 4, or maybe even get that extra little bit of damage you need to leave the PO or Wish. But right now, Thompson is feeling the pinch, but everybody else is still doing pretty well. You know, Seb's at a point now where he's got the Blade Mail. You know, when he's going to build his own Pearl Fury. So they've got their items on the way, it's just they haven't really 15-minute mark where they're really going to click together. They're going to get that second Wisdom Rune and really try and pick off a lot of these people.
No one's got enough space where he's got a Battle Fury. He's got a Battle Fury and he's only 300 gold behind both the Beastmaster and the Ember. Like, that is really good form for him. I'm a little interested in this Skylark build just because, you know, you do have an Oracle. You do have someone who already offers that kind of heal for the team and that protection.
Dire's middle tower.
And you could have also had the Mirana maybe even think about going into the Guardian Greaves instead, but Skylark, I don't know, like, is there really someone here who could have killed Helm of the Overlord creep quick enough where they could have taken advantage of, like, Foot coming through from an ancient Black Dragon or something like that?
I think it's much more about the aggression that was coming out from Old G rather than him losing his mid too early on. Like, if he comes in with like a high plus a Crimson Guard at like sub 20 minutes, then a lot of these fights that Old G really need to win around that mark of like 20 to 25 minutes become a lot harder, and it means that your heroes like Ursa as well as the Embers stay alive in these fights, and Ursa's one of those heroes that just needs that little bit extra to win a lot of these once you want to get
Taking some stacks here away from No One, and he is going to find himself spotting these heroes. Doesn't get caught by the Searing Chains. There's a shield rune, the most OP rune in the game, in my opinion, on Wish. And he's also got a double damage in this bottle. I'm not sure.
Sure either. I feel like if it's purgeable, that's fine. But I'm also glad that they made the change to how they're on like a rotation now. Because could you imagine, you know, popping a shield rune, going into a fight, having a shield rune in your bottle and popping it again?
Yeah, like it's kind of crazy. But it just still feel like 50% is too high of a number. Truthfully.
Especially when you have heroes that
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Medusa doesn't like using it.
Dire's bottom tower
2 heroes
is under
that
attack.
abuse it and a lot of HP.
AKA Universal Heroes. Flame Break Lasso pulling him up onto the cliff, and that's not what he wanted to do. Remnant forward, and instead of the Searing Chains, the arrow to follow it up, they've got another kill. They need to find out, well, once Seb is there, you'd assume they should be able to deal with this disgusting combo they've got coming in.
Yeah, I'd imagine that maybe we might be seeing, yeah, I was going to say, we might see you. Especially like the right? I think he kind of wants to play. He doesn't want to play by himself, but he doesn't really want to have to stick around with Seb. Like they've got these kill squads with like Legion Commander +1. They want to try and do different parts.
That's a roar used. The wall down, the vacuum. Seb kind of gave up though. No reveal, and they've got Blink and Blade Mail. They really wanted to get something done with Seb because he has 0 dual damage 60 minutes into the game.
Yeah, it's always depressing when you're playing Legion Commander and you have those early engagements, but as soon as you get duel, nothing happens.
With the life drain, the damage coming in, they'll get themselves their first victory
Dire's middle tower
in
is
dual
under attack.
damage.
Now they don't have duel for 50 seconds. They still have Flaming Lasso cooling down for another 8 seconds. They can try and go again if they want to. They've got plenty of damage. They can still 5-man ball. And the one way to alleviate the issue with the draft of taking towers and objectives is just kills, right? Like you pick up 2 of these scary heroes and it's a lot easier to play the game.
Again, but they just jump forward. Flame break, pushing him back, trying to kite him out. They've done a little bit of that with that lasso that lasted a half second. But they got the unleash, and they'll have this kill in a few if they can just stick on him. But they got the false promise. He's over the threshold. They get him on a spark. Now they'll look over with a blade now. Yeah, hurt yourself. Keep yourself over that threshold. Pio ends up dead, and they get 2 kills out of that. Despite not having the duel available, now they've got duel available, and they can go for more.
Wound of illusion.
Yeah, Monaspa just have been together at the right time. So I think Old G just kind of moving around as this 5-man ball, and they haven't really been punished for that just yet. Like they have
Radiant's bottom
maybe
tower
like a
is
big
under
push in the
attack.
bottom lane. It hasn't been effective. They've been able to support it from Monaspa. The Ursa is still like he just put his battle through. He's going to be building towards that blink dagger. They have Guardian Greaves up now on Skylark, so I would love to see them walk around as these 4 heroes and just try and rotate to keep Pio safe as much as possible. Because they haven't really lost that much of that map. They've only lost a tier 1 tower. It's not like it's really dark for them. They've still got some really good wards that are floating around. There's a lot of defensive supporting coming in from Old G, so it's not like anytime soon that they're going to lose a lot of their map vision as long as they keep some of the 4 heroes. But the way that it's going, getting kicked off after these last couple of minutes, I really feel that Old G are trying to pull this. They've almost got a little bit of extra dual damage. Their flaming lassos have resulted in kills most of the time, and Kit Track is a 5. He's almost got kills. It's like, what, 700 gold away? At that point, he feels pretty happy.
Yule's being built there. They've also got Yule's finished up Desire. He's going into the Solar Crest, so a little bit more of like bumping up your heroes, especially that Ursa with the Solar Crest. We see this a lot, where teams that are kind of behind a little bit, they have this lineup that can still take road. They go.
Your song has fallen to the radiant.
Invisibility. The position of the Roche pits, to me, I think need to change. I think that's one thing that I'm not really liking about the pack so far. I feel like, I don't want to say they're easy to take, but it's very hard for a lot of these other teams
Radiant's
to have
middle
fighting
tower
angles.
is under
They're
attack.
like separated in the corners, and obviously everybody knows where they're going to be depending on whether they're on a type A. So if you're a team that just shoves out this top lane and it's the right time, say you're a beat hard, it's pretty easy for you to take Roche, and there's no real scary angles. The way that the Roche is set up, you can't really be surrounded, whereas previously when Roche was in the river, right, like you had to know where everybody was at all. It's very hard to.
Dire's middle tower
It
is
feels
under
like it's
attack.
pretty free if you're in there and nobody's around, but I guess that could be said with the other one. I don't know. You could see also just the no vision over there. Like the vision, the Radiant is non-existent in this area, and they're just able to take Roche, knowing that it's like, all right, well, if we see one person in any lane that isn't top, they don't have enough heroes to come after us. No one's got the addicts. This is gonna be interesting.
Okay. We're gonna take a fight into an Aegis.
Dire's bottom tower
Make sure
is
they
under
don't get
attack.
kicked off here.
No blink dagger for the Bat Rider. Not that that would matter with the boar hitting him. And all right, wall down, lasso out. That's under the orb, but that's exactly who you want to have it on, so he doesn't get the ball through. The damage coming in. It's going to be on the earth with the life drain on him. They'll take a few as well. Skylark now they'll look over at Spark. The chase is on to get themselves free. This is unwitched. He's not able to do anything with the unleash. The silences are deadly. Ready to go. Arrow hits onto the Dark Seer, but slight into the Remnant Weave.
Yeah, that was a beautiful way to execute it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, we have to hear with
Then-
Wish.
Alright, Moonlight Shadow, dust just in case he comes over here. They've got the vision on him, Searing Chains, Desire to watch, but I don't know if he can help that much. The arrow hits. Damage on a Seb, he's got cool in 10 seconds. There's that Yules you were talking about on Kid Track that keeps him from TPing out. Another also, because he's doing a lot of damage, he might be able to clean up if he's given enough space. False Promise keeps him alive. They need a little bit more heal. They're going to kill a Kid Track. That's one with the slime. He's back up to full health. Old G need to leap.
Yeah, I guess that was one positive of C Spartan on PRB at the False Promise off, right? It was off cooldown to save Wish, and he kind of played it there on the edge, and that's one issue that Old G have, is they don't really have good, reliable lockdown. Yeah, they've got faction, they've got duel, they've got lasso, but as soon as you know that those abilities are on cooldown, you can kind of play pretty freely if you wish. That's maxing him up. So he's feeling pretty good with how his game is going now that he's got a Pin Sphere. Wish feels pretty immortal in a lot of these fights, and the fact that he had Aegis in that previous fight as well, pre-Lincolns, I think from here on out, the Roshans will definitely be going in Pio's pocket because he's the most vulnerable out of all these heroes, trying to get a duel on him before he gets the rage off. So yeah, Pio should have a pretty good game from here on out, but Old G are just showing their team fighting prowess, and that's one big positive that these guys have, squad, right, is the way they team fight and the way they can kind of pull a lot of these leads back into their back. It's really going to be about Monaspa.
I definitely think holding on is the big key word there, right?
Like, could be all important, right? Like, if they get a PG, they open up a T1 tower, they can make their way towards top, they can start taking out this triangle, and the map starts feeling free.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
They do have kickoff in and of themselves, but the way that Old G are playing this 5-minute ball, it's going to be too hard for them to just get like a Fortune Zen, like an arrow, or even you're going to have a lot of those.
Radiant's bottom tower
That's where it
is
really
under
starts getting hard
attack.
to find
Radiant structures are
They've got a
fortified.
few universal heroes, so they're going to feel pretty strong with how they're moving through their stats, right?
Radiant's bottom
This is
tower
a very
is under
scary part
attack.
from Manata where they can either win.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So somehow, net worth dropping down to about even.
Radiant's bottom tower
A lot of
has
that
fallen.
is off the back of Zai being so big, right? Like, he's very big support. He's got Yules.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Halbert's gonna be nice when he picks that up.
Yeah, it's going to be huge to have that pseudo save against one.
Allies disappear.
They need to
The
make sure
prize
that
is
like
mine.
these false promises are really, really good for Spartan. We saw in the previous fight where he knew where he had to be, but it's hard for him to
Dire's
position if
middle
he's the one that
tower
gets
is
lasted
under
early
attack.
on. Even if he doesn't die, pulling him out of position, forcing him in these scenarios where he has to pick between,
Salamene smiles are scanning.
or really just makes it harder for him. And that's where Old G put a lot of pressure. Force him to make those hard
Been able to pick up some of those Lotuses. Pick up more now that he's finished off BKB. Chains looking for the arrow. That doesn't land. Mules up into the air from Kid Track. There's the blink into the duel. They catch themselves. The Marauder, the jabbing coming in, and he gets the victory himself. Oh,
That was close. That was real close. I think maybe if you didn't have the orb of destruction there, but I feel like they probably a lot of members.
they're going right to
Yeah,
top. They want to catch Pio again.
Dire's middle
Okay,
tower is
I mean,
under
I'm 40
attack.
to Maze.
Oh, K-Track, he doesn't have Blink, but if he spots him, he'll just use him up in the air. He was TP'd there. Oh, boy, now he doesn't have a way out. They go to the lasso, they have the Unleash. This is a problem. Well, they're also going to get a kill on the Thompson, who dropped down the wall, but the chase is on with the BKB. Pio trying to leave. Wishes in on a Thompson who
Radiant's
TP's
top
out.
tower is under
Meanwhile,
attack.
Pio just escapes. They both get away.
Yeah, both teams are probably pretty annoyed with how that worked out, right? Like, Pio
Radiant's
just got
top
away with the
tower
BKB. He
has
was
fallen.
slightly faster than Seth. Cooldown. That's kind of one of the issues that you've got here with the Batrider, right? Like, you want to lasso him, but he's enraged, so it's literally like a half-second lasso. Very hard for you to try and standing. I almost thought that was going to be a certain kill on Thompson in the bottom lane, but man, there's his limit.
KBT. Uh-oh. No one getting a bottle here from Thompson to bottle up that double damage.
So hard.
Yep.
It's the thing with universal heroes now, right? It's like just their base damage is the bomb. They just do so much damage, but it's all base damage. And they just keep building stats. And so a DD rune on a universal hero is like DD rune on a ton. Where you're like, all right, this is I think you're gonna get tough. This next team fight with a DD rune is gonna be hard to win.
I think he's also got this full manta coming in, yeah. So universal heroes, universal items. I realize that universal heroes get to play like heralds, not that they're playing at that skill level. You know the ideology when you're just such a low rank, you're like, this item looks cool. I guess I can buy this. Like that's what you're able to do as a universal. Manta looks cool.
You just go,
Cool
you go
looking.
Ags, yeah, you go Ags
Dyer's
plus one other
middle
stat
tower
item, whether
is
it
under
be
attack.
Harpoon or Manta, and you're
Yeah.
just like, yeah, this is it. And you just build that every game. And as a universal hero, you hit for like 300 and you have like 3,000 HP. Yeah, this is fun.
It's like when I was a kid, it was like, oh, well, which team do you want to root for in a sport you don't play? Well, who's got the coolest jersey? All right, I'll pick that.
I like this one.
Roche is
That's
enough for a
universal
while.
heroes in another.
Yeah. Buy what looks good. Not stats, just the item itself.
I think the thing, you really can't go wrong with universal heroes. All of the generally good items are gonna be good on universal heroes. Generally stat sticks, they'll do stuff in a game that you're not gonna be like, ah, this kind of sucks.
Radiant
Like
are
this game, the
scanning.
Manta style, it's not crazy good, but it's good enough. Like it gets you out of chains, it gets you out of like a Fortune's End, which is enough. And you go, okay, well, it just gives me like 50 damage. That's cool. And now I have 3,000 HP, and I do 1 million damage per move.
Oh, just a million.
Yeah,
It's a casual million.
that's
Cool
universal
Billy.
heroes. It's like you give him a DD rune, you put on leash. Imagine if no one had a mag time around us, and then he gets empowered, and you're like, all right, that's active. How do you deal with it?
You don't. Halberd. Rock, paper, scissors, damage, halberd, done. Stop. Don't hit me.
You could fate Zedic him in these fights, but I mean that's putting a lot on C-Spartan's map, right? It's like, all right, C-Spartan, you need to keep everybody alive. You also need to make sure that you disarm the Marcy. You also need to make sure that you false promise the right person. Make sure you
Shadows
need to
take us.
not get lassoed as well. So if you could do all that for us and captain us at the same time, that'd be awesome.
Appreciate it. Thumbs up. Surprised that with the damage that they have on the side of Old G as well, they don't just take Tormentor. They are setting up for Roche, of course.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
So what are the shards they can really look for?
Yes,
No,
you know,
that's
just, it's not bad. For free, it's fine.
Yeah, true. I think you
Dyer's
probably
bottom
want-
tower is under attack. Dyer's bottom tower has
but
fallen.
the way it's looking right now, like Old G, they know they need Roche, and so they're literally just camping
Yeah,
Roche.
they've been sitting here for a while.
Dyer's bottom tower is
Top
under
map is really
attack.
good for them. They can close pool, they can get Roche. That's unlikely to be they take one fight. They, you know, they pick up the ball to get that.
Deceptive invisibility.
Dyer's bottom
Yeah,
tower
Roche
is under
big.
attack.
But in doing so, they gave up their Wisdom Rune.
Dyers are
And
scanning.
A lot of experience to Wish.
Yep.
Almost level 20. It's actually a big power spike for them. It's 5 side of fist hero damage.
Never
You're getting
refuse
multiple
scope
hero
given.
side of fists.
Yep. Yeah, that's gonna be dangerous. Now look at this. They're sneaky into Roche. Let's see if they can take it. There are heroes from Monaspa nearby, so gotta be careful if you are Old G. Trying to kill that boss.
Some sort of idea.
Yeah, they're coming over. This is a problem. There's the arrow.
Rune of haste.
Well, Manta usage there. And down to half health. Not using that unleash, wanting to save it. Shivas, that hits onto this Marcy. Now they're going to unleash, but they get the silence on unleash for a second. They go to the front horse, giving out to no one. They're trying to get the control of the Marcy. Now they're cool. The damage drops. It's already dead. They got a PO. They've already used the false promise. The Starstorm and Roche doing some damage. They get the call to no one. They'll take out a second. Now they're running over. The arrow lands on a Seb. Seb in trouble. Everyone else is down. Kick track falls. It's going to be a full team wipe and Roche. They'll take out Aramis. Down goes Seb. 5 heroes gone on Old G and Roche left at like 50%.
Where you look back at when Roche spawned, right? If Roche was a dire side spawn, that fight doesn't happen. The only reason why they're able to have 5 heroes there was because Pio was actually able to beat the up. If Pio doesn't get any close to that fight, I don't think Monaspa will take that fight. They let Roche go. Then we're looking at Old G marching down a lane, probably taking 2-2 tower. Instead, we're looking at a full team wipe,
Dire's
10k
bottom
net worth
tower
lead
is
now.
under attack.
That was clean. I think
Dire's
they just put
structures
Old G
are
under a lot of
fortified.
pressure where it got to the point where they
Radiant
just had to
structures are
spend spells.
fortified.
Like, no one's getting
Dire's
extremely low,
bottom
Toxins
tower
is
is
extremely
under
low.
attack.
They have to throw this duel out. Pio just was able to sit there, and then if you give C Spartan a spot where he can literally sit there and choose the perfect time to drop this false promise, it's a free fight for them. They never got the lasso out. They were never able to get multi-heroes
bottom tower
back
is
and
under
forth.
attack.
Old G,
Dire's
unfortunately,
bottom tower
due
has fallen.
to Roche being on the radiant side, they lose out that fight.
That's a bit of an issue for them now. I feel like it is truthfully problematic to go to this duel, but they're not going to get dual damage out of this. Great destiny here down. They've got the Unleash, they've got the Silence, the Pulse, Theo trying to fight this. No one's taking a lot of damage, and he can't get away. Theo is
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
unkillable, man. They will find Aramis. They'll even use the Primal Roar. He's got a double kill. This is a fight happening right by the high ground. And that is ex-Monaspa going up and they see a wall, but they'll walk right through it, at least with Wish.
Yeah, this is starting to snowball really, really fast.
Dire's
Against Old G,
structures
and
are
this
fortified.
is
Fire,
Is under
dead
attack.
Thompson. Just don't see him leaving, and there's Purifying Flames to finish it off. That kill steal, Purifying Flames still exists.
maybe 3 minutes into the game, so it doesn't matter. They'll still need to get these kills at some point.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah,
is
this,
under attack.
this ballooned out of control really,
Dire's
really
bottom
fast. I think
barracks
OG
are under
felt a little bit of the
radiant
pressure of the
scan.
timing. You can do that they
Dire's
understood that
bottom
they needed
barracks
Roche and no, set to be the next one. Use Shadow Bladed though.
Dire's
hit by
bottom
that.
barracks has fallen. Radiant's
But
middle tower is under
You
attack.
can understand that it's starting to get to the point now where it's like 33, 35 minutes into the game. You know, Pia's got the Nullify, they got BKBs coming up, and you can feel it's hard to kill the Ember Spirit. Really need Roche to start clearing out these tier 2 towers, and then maybe we can get a network. Maybe win a fight off the back. Losing that Roche fight the way they did, 5-0, giving the Roche up at like 15%, it just balloons so fast, and the way that they can take towers, it's so hard for them to fight for 2 minutes.
Dire's middle tower is under
Like,
attack.
they still don't have Blink
Dire's
crack
middle
yet.
tower
Like, he's
has
long ways
fallen.
away from that. Can't even even like just look at the grass. The grass still for Monaspa right now. If they lose from here, that's going to be a big fight back from Old G because it's going to be hard for them.
Yeah, they knew we're really experienced, especially as big in this one. They have found themselves set. We will try to get the blade mail off and survive, but that's just not happening. Early, brother.
Gonna be one of the new memes, like the question mark.
Dire's
Early brother,
top
gonna be
tower is under
Early,
attack.
brother. You gotta do that with the yeehaw.
early brother. Is that American enough? I'm not very
Dire's
good.
top tower
that was
has
fine.
fallen.
I appreciate it.
Tough one.
So, jumping on the high ground again.
This is probably just a left back. Like I don't see how they're supposed to fight. Like they can just throw the Lincolns on him if they ever get scared.
Unless it happens
Yeah,
slow,
correct.
but Wish is just able to come in here for free, right? Like, he's got that extra damage with the sight. They time the Aegis right on this one, maybe. Still a full minute. It's not about timing. I think they just take this Rax and
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Maybe they can delay with like a back wall play, but they know the T3's gone, so it's sack that. It's about what are these racks they're going to give up. It's like they're going to fight.
Well, I don't have anything with Thompson being stunned by that arrow for a while. There's a destiny on him too.
They hold. I think they definitely would have loved to fight. You know, as you said, that arrow and that helped them something they put a spanner in the work for Old G to get into the fight they wanted to. But at least hold their rack so they're not 2 lanes down, 2 side lanes down as well at this point in time. Can deal with the bottom side as long as, you know, Seb constantly pushes that out. He's one with the Shadow Blade as well, so can safely
Trickster's rune of
do
illusion.
that. But this could be potentially a last hurrah for Old G. They've got a Blink Dagger now on Thompson. They can set up for back some more. They've got the BKB on no one as well. But he's a scary hero. They would love the Blink Dagger on Kitrak. If they had Blink Dagger on Kitrak, they were like, all right, this is good. This is everything that we could possibly want for. Want to go. Maybe they're low on smokes too, actually. They've used a...
Yeah, they just used one.
They're down one for another almost 4 minutes.
It's just tough for them because, like, I think the biggest turning point was the fact that they kind of sit waiting for Roach for 2.5 minutes while Monaspa just farmed the entire map. Running over, Thompson in trouble. They found themselves Kitrak down by his own. He'll end up dead. Hero gets the kill. He's got buyback. Real confusing, but you're going to be forced to do so. There's just no way around that. Arrow comes in and lands onto no one as he jumps forward. And they get the damage out. It doesn't look likely. Thompson is dead. No one falls. Hero's unkillable. And Aramis is on the run, but you don't have buyback on those 2 heroes. And this is looking like the end of game 1. Aramis is hiding.
Dyer's top barracks are under attack. Dyer's top barracks
Surely not the decret CP outlet to be the savior there for Aramis.
Dyer's
He
top
gets found
barracks
out,
are under
and yeah,
attack.
this is probably going to be game 1 in the books for Monaspa. I like the way that Old G
Dyer's middle
played their
tower
draft.
is under attack.
I think maybe the fastest play was the most like the other heroes, but
Dyer's middle
they
tower
had
has fallen.
massive one thing if they're
Dyer's middle
like
barracks
they
are
definitely
under
could
attack.
have much better with
Dyer's middle barracks.
the 2 minutes of them
Dyer's
laying
middle
out,
barracks.
right? Like they not really good, but they spent a lot of time just waiting for big nets like that.
That's going to be a lot of
Dyer's middle tower has fallen.
points.
Lost here.
Dyer's middle tower has fallen.
Fist here, change, not going to matter. This game is in the
under
books
attack.
as they walk. Action ball, they'll try one more time. Vacuum, a duel on the Desire, but he's taking no damage. Kitrak falls, the remnant over. Destiny are there, and the Destiny says that they're going to take game number 1. Just a matter of time. The 7 surrounding 7's dead. No one trying to fight back. He's eaten. Buyback on said, duels in the air, doing the damage on the Spartan, gets the kill on the Oracle, while Skylark trying to just finish the fate. Slight again, Desire comes in, he'll start right now, get the kill on Aramis, a little over the remnants to the side, Seb's got the play down. They'll call it GG, game 1 goes the way of next Monaspa.
Yeah, I feel like there was some moments there where Old G felt like they were in control.